Anthony Donnelly, IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm at the Trinity Centre today.
You today because Coogan's got a hangover.
Probably, after his Periscope, yeah.
Mate,
that was sore, wasn't it?
I was texting people going, you have to get onto him quick. But
I was thinking about like.
Did you speak to him when he was doing it?
I know I did. I was in the chat, so I was speaking to him, and he was going, "Oh, we like ginger bollocks. We like ginger." I was going, "Oh, fair enough. He's got love for me." And the guy Matt Bowes, is it?
Oh yeah.
He tried to buy me.
Really?
Yeah, while he was on there, so I'm not really sure. But anyway, today Josh Warrington, amazing turnout again in Leeds. Are you excited for Saturday?
I'm really excited. I'm excited for the main event and the chief support as well. Stuart Hall against Rodrigo Guerrero is a great fight. I see Guerrero looks sensational in it. I mean, that is an interesting to see he's installed as a favourite in a fight. I think it's a great fight. So is Warrington against AMAGASSA. It's always difficult coming back after a weekend like we've just had, but as it's Leeds, it's okay. Because one, the atmosphere is sensational, and two, you know, we've got a great card. So Martin Ward's in a really tough fight as well. Dave Ryan's fighting for the Commonwealth title, so it's great. And a must-win fight for Josh. And again, a really difficult fight.
A difficult fight, like you say, against AMAGASSA. Any man that can put Rigondeaux down twice is obviously going to be a bit of a problem. Apart from that fight against Rigondeaux, have you seen much of him?
Yeah, seen quite a bit of him. Watch him. He's huge for a featherweight. You'll see it the weigh-in. It's like,
very tall.
Yeah, he's going to tower over Warrington. Josh is all action. He's very, very exciting, but AMAGASSA can really punch. So Josh has got to be careful. And you know, everyone's talking about the SELBY fight and stuff like that, and that's a fight that can be made next. But this is, I'd take my hat off to these boys for taking the fight, because I put forward AMAGASSA and I thought it was a great fight, but it was kind of like, do we need to risk that kind of fight at this stage? And he wanted to have that kind of fight, and I was delighted when he accepted it. And like I said, the main event and the chief support, two cracking fights.
Do you think after Lee Selby's performance on Saturday that it would give Josh a little bit more confidence, seeing that he's been put down now?
Yeah, I mean, he got put down. It looked like a heavy knockdown, but actually got up quite well, and I don't think he was really hugely hurt. But I guess anyone looking at Lee Selby would be lifted by that. It's probably good news for Selby, because more people will want to fight him, but it was still a class performance by him to come through that. And Hunt is a good fighter. You know, he moaned much too much, but other than that, he was very talented. So, you know, I think Selby against Warrington's a natural fight, but AMAGASSA's got to be dealt with first. And like I say, it's a real world level fight, so, you know, he's got to come through that, look good, and then we can talk about Selby after.
If he did come through this, what would the likelihood be of getting that Selby fight on?
I think decent, you know, I mean, we're coming up to a period in the summer now where you've got Bellew, you've got Brooke, you've got Joshua. You know, so looking at those big summer fights is quite difficult, but I think end of July, August is a realistic time for that fight to happen. You know, Josh is sort of approaching that period in his career where after he beats AMAGASSA, he's kind of dealt with enough guys at world level after Brunker and AMAGASSA to warrant challenging for a world title. People are like, you know, with Josh, oh, he's just got mad support, but he's not. He can really fight. And some people thought he might lose to Brunker, and he won nearly every round. And now AMAGASSA, you know, these are proper tests to prove his pedigree, and he's doing it every time. Speaking
of his amazing support he has here in Leeds, if he did get that fight with Selby, do you think you could make it in Leeds, or would you think Lee would not be wanting to travel?
No, Lee would travel, and it would have to be here, because that's, you know, this is where it creates the most money. So you either go Ellen Road, or you go in the arena, but you know, the arena holds 11,000, so, you know, is that enough? But you know, you've got Josh Warrington selling a lot of tickets. You know, we should have 8,000 in there on Saturday again. It's fantastic, and time again they're supporting him. And like I said, the atmosphere is very, very special. And coming back after the O2, it's difficult to get yourself pumped. But when it's Leeds, it's okay. And when it's the card, it is in those two main fights. You know, I'm buzzing for it.
I understand. I've got to ask you about the question I don't think anyone's asked you before out of us. Andrew Selby and Charlie Edwards, could that fight happen in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, the board, we wanted to fight Wilton for the British title, but the board wouldn't allow that fight for the British title. They wanted to make it a final eliminator, so we decided to step down and go the WBC route. The British title against Selby can be made. Me personally, don't really think it's big enough yet. I don't think enough people have heard of Edwards and Selby. It's not often in the division that a fight like that comes up that can make you a few quid, and to do it for relatively small money doesn't really make sense for either of them. But you know, I was just speaking to Frank Warren, Andy Ayling this morning about Prince Patel, made them an offer to fight Charlie Edwards on the next Joshua card. I'd just like to make that fight because I think it's a funny fight, you know, but he's not going to want to fight Charlie Edwards in a million years. I know he's a mate of yours, but you know, I think our main route, we had a shot at the European title lined up, which we're looking at. There's a mandatory coming on, and we got both guys for the winner. Or we also got a WBC silver title shot for Charlie Edwards, so he's in a good spot. And I think the Selby fight will happen at some point in the future.
Talking about big fights in the summer, Coogan's Periscope was full of this question: Groves versus Murray. Yeah. Could that happen? Can it happen? Will it happen?
We were supposed to go June 25th with Groves, Murray in London. Obviously Joshua's win, so Joshua will either go June 25th or July the 9th. We're looking to put Groves, Murray on that card as chief support. It's a great fight, so just looking at the numbers now, trying to get that all sorted, and fingers crossed we can get that over the line.
Talking about tweets this morning, Tyson Fury, you're on his page, you got your name out there. Nice. He didn't at you, but he wrote your name.
No, I think he did at me, but I was trying to sort of decode like what he was saying, because it's, you know, it was all over the place, the spelling and everything. I think what he was saying,
I've got the gist of it.
Basically, you want your son to be like Anthony Joshua. If he did come out like Anthony Joshua, you'd have to have a word with your missus or something like that. I think I don't really get too involved with Tyson Fury on Twitter, because when he goes in hard.
He does.
So I just stay away from him. But it's good times, you know. It's great times for heavyweight boxing. Everyone's got their opinions on who's the best, etc., etc. Hopefully the Brits can keep winning, and then we can get the big fights made.
Alright, well I hope to see a lot more big fights made, but obviously firstly it's all about Leeds and Josh Warrington making his next big step in the boxing world. But I'm sure Coogan or James will catch up with you during the week, but until then, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much from IFL TV.